It's even better than the last chapter. I had an expectation and this chapter crossed that mark. It has really maintained its stylish action and engaging narrative. Last chapter ended with Gojo taking out Agito with maximum blue output, and the narrator stated that 41 seconds later Gojo Satoru's hollow purple technique will leave a scar in Shinjuku. Chapter 335 starts by showing Agito getting crossed by blue. Narrator states due to two black flashes, Gojo Satoru's voltage rises, and the king of curses Ryumen Sukuna feels nervous for the first time in 1,000 years. Gojo's output was on decline for past chapters, but here he is able to heal and regrow his lost arm due to him being in Black Flash zone. So this means he is fighting in 120% of his potential and dominating 2 versus 1 battle. Black Flash amped his performance and kinda compensated for the lost output. He has already hit 2 black flashes, so he is likely to hit more as it puts you in a zone after first one. Yeah, and Gojo hits his third black flash at Mahoraga and appears in front of Sukuna. Sukuna tries to attack Gojo, but Satoru just catches the punch and throws him towards Mahoraga and hits them with 4th black flash. As a protector, Mahoraga blocks it from hitting Sukuna but gets pushed back. Then Gojo starts enchanting for his next attack. Sukuna judged that it will be Kor's technique Reversal Red, so he plans to have Mahoraga tank it and make it adopt as a reassurance. However, rather than firing at Sukuna, Gojo fires it upward. Sukuna realizes what's gonna come next, so he screams at Mahoraga to take an action. As Mahoraga jumps up, we see blue ahead that was left after it crossed Agito. Mahoraga is ordered to interfere with the clash of red and blue by completely demolishing the blue from its adaptation. Since the red Gojo fire doesn't have speed before it explodes like the red that went around the building to attack Sukuna back in chapter 232. So they still have time to stop the red and blue before it collides. However, by using blue, Gojo comes in between Mahoraga and the blue. Mahoraga isn't pulled by the gravity of blue, since it doesn't need to select target for adaptation, and that backfires at this moment. Gojo punches Mahoraga and at the same time Sukuna fires piercing blood to stimulate the red and make it explode. Gojo quickly strikes at Sukuna, but it was too late. As piercing blood was about to strike red, Gojo starts enchanting to strengthen the blue's output, due to which it attracts the piercing blood towards itself and piercing blood hits blue. Since blue is like a vacuum, it absorbs the water of Max Elephant in the form of piercing blood technique. Then Gojo starts enchantment again, and this time it's for hollow purple. Here at the gang hideout, Yuta says to Kusakabe sorry. If a hindrance like him was there, Gojo could not have done this. Purple is the imaginary mass that occurs from the clash of lapse and Kor's technique reversal. In the battlefield, as blue and red merges, Gojo says hollow technique purple, and it blasted everything in its vicinity. Roads, buildings, trees, and even Mahoraga's wheels get destroyed. This is the second time Sukuna got hit by the purple. First time he was 4 km or 2.5 miles away at Shinjuku and only lost enhanced arm. But this time he is crippled and his left arm is destroyed. Although this purple hit Gojo too, he is still well and in better shape than Sukuna. Since purple was made up from its own Kor's energy, so it did not affect him that much. Kusakabe points out that Sukuna without Mahoraga with slow healing and that damage, on the top of that unable to do a fist fight using domain amplification, Gojo wins. Satoru still has enough fight left in him for Adlib remote purple and has reversal cost technique output from the black flashes to win this battle. Lastly, chapter says the result of the battle of the strongest engraved in Shinjuku. When Arthur said Gojo can do anything, he wasn't lying. Gojo just casually tied the record of Yuji and Nanami for the most consecutive black flashes. Even though he doesn't have Superman prowess, by infusing his punches with blue, he hits harder than Yuji or Maki, and talking about speed, Gojo can literally teleport. That's how he was able to stop Mahoraga from destroying blue. Talking about Mahoraga, in this chapter we get to know that he is capable of independent thought. Mahoraga doesn't need to select target for adaptation, and that became his biggest flaw in this battle. If he could select, Mahoraga would have turned off adaptation for blue, allowing him to get pulled by its gravity. Then he could have turned on its adaptation and destroyed the maximum blue output to stop the formation of purple. We all knew hollow purple was the combination of red and blue, but I never thought it can be executed in this way. Limitless is stated to be a really hard technique to use, as you have to know it to the molecular level. Gojo released blue first and he strengthened its output by enchantments. Then he perfectly combined red with his second attack to create a hollow purple that was literally a nuke. I guess it's his new move, since Gojo says first time blowing himself up. Looks like Gojo really did some training during time skip. After getting 13 chapters of battle between Gojo and Sukuna, it finally feels like it has reached its climax. On the battle of Ten Shadow and Limitless, 6-eye user has come out as a victor. Gojo is ready to continue the fight. On the other hand, Sukuna is in really bad shape. His healing was already slow, and now on the top of that, he took a direct hit from Hollow Purple. He cannot compete with Gojo in hand-to-hand combat since Gojo uses blue to reinforce his punches. So it looks like this is the end for Sukuna. Or maybe he still has Trump card, just like Hakari told in chapter 234. Sukuna has come to the battlefield knowing he will have to face against several sorcerers even if he somehow manages to win against Gojo. That's why it's pretty reasonable to think he has something up his sleeve that can turn this whole thing around, a complete 180. Lately, every chapter was in favor of Gojo. He was even able to land his new Hollow Purple technique on Sukuna, so it feels like this is the perfect time for plot twist. Or maybe I'm just thinking way too much. Well, I'm really enjoying these chapters. There is break, so hopefully next chapter will be better than this. Gege, keep on cooking and provide us more of this content. I'm loving it. Many manga fans are loving it. So Gege, keep on going, dude. Anyway, what are your opinion on it? Let me know it in the comment section. I'm NJ and see you soon.